Welcome to Every Movie I've Ever Seen. This is a special March Madness edition where I'm going to be reviewing a bunch of Clive Owen movies, tournament style, to find out which one is the best. The movie that I'm talking about today is Intruders. This is another one of those rummage sale movies that I talked about yesterday. This is the second one I've done so far. Like I mentioned, I did International, Intruders, and I'm also going to do Derailed. But the one I'm talking about today is Intruders. This, of course, stars Clive Owen. This is a horror movie, 2000s horror movie, which, from what I remember, I suppose this is my favorite of the Clive Owen trilogy of rummage sale movies. It was a standard horror movie. Nothing special or all that out there, but from looking back on it, I don't think it was all that bad. Maybe it's a little bit rose-colored glasses when you spend a whole month watching terrible movies, and a couple of those being terrible horror movies. Maybe you look back at this a little bit more fondly. And I think I watched Intruders before I did that 10 box set of horror movies that had Howling 4. That was terrible. But anyway, so I liked this, I'll say, which is why I picked this to do today. Because I want, I don't want Anon to just breeze on through to the semifinals. So, I did this. Tomorrow it's going to be a movie that I haven't seen before. I didn't want to do two rummage sale movies. So, this has a fighting chance of passing whatever I end up picking tomorrow to watch. And, that could have a fighting chance of going against Anon. Because I didn't just want Anon to breeze on through because it went up against one of those crappy rummage sale movies. And honestly, if I did this without having seen any Clive Owen movies, I probably wouldn't have picked these movies to review in the first place. But I don't want to watch a movie if I don't have to. So, yeah, I don't remember all too much about the movie. I know there's like some monster thing, hollow face. It's got like, it's a head with no face, like that Doctor Who episode where the Idiot's Lantern, where they're watching the coronation of the Queen, and it's like the TV is like sucking their faces and taking their face away and sticking them in the TV. That was an odd episode to just randomly reference in my review, but hey, it works. I think Daniel Bruhl is in this too. He plays like a priest. There's kind of like two storylines going on. There's Clive Owen's storyline, and he's haunted by things, and then there's another storyline of like a Hispanic mother and her child also being haunted by these things, and you're kind of led to believe that the storylines are happening simultaneously, but I believe the twist at the end, spoiler alert, very Saw-esque twist, is that these things aren't happening simultaneously, that the other storyline is actually a flashback, and that the Hispanic woman and her son is a young Clive Owen and his mother. Having been previously haunted by the same thing, now he's an adult who may or may not remember previous hauntings as a child. He's being haunted by the same things. I believe that's the story, unless I'm thinking of another movie completely. I do believe that's how the story goes. But, like I said, it was fine. Standard early 2000s horror movie. I'm sure at some point a character looks up at the ceiling and there's a water stain dripping down, because that happens in every horror movie. What I will say is that whatever movie I end up watching tomorrow, if Intruders does pass and go on through, I will rewatch Intruders to give it the best chance against Anand, because I don't want Anand just breaking through to the to the quarterfinals. It's got to actually earn the right to go there. I'm not sure what I'm gonna pick. There's a couple more movies for Clive Owen on streaming services that I can have. I'm gonna watch one of those. I'm not sure how I'm going to decide. I'm going to look at runtime, honestly. Like, I might just pick whatever's the shortest runtime. I may also look at Rotten Tomatoes score. Maybe... I feel like in this scenario, if it was like a seeded bracket, which I was going to do a seeded bracket, but I didn't have time to do a seeded bracket, and I was going to make a graphic and everything. I was going to go a little bit more into this whole tournament thing, but... if you would do a seeded bracket, you have a lower ranked seed going up against a higher ranked seed. So potentially this would be a lower ranked seed. So you would want a big Clive Owen movie going up against this, a Children of Men or Closer, something along those lines. I'm not watching those yet. I will probably get to those. I still haven't completely decided what I'm even going to be doing next week. But like I said, this movie... it was fine. A good standard horror movie. Definitely my favorite of those Roman Sale movies. But yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow with what I pick, and if Intruders can survive to face Anand in the quarterfinals. Until then, that's all I've got to say about Intruders.